We will seek you, find you. 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 We will seek you, find you.
Travis Wingoodzell. By their fruits you shall know them. That's the test for a false prophet and a true prophet. But specifically, it's designed to identify the false ones so that you don't get deceived by them. And so, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints claims to be non-Trinitarian Christianity. Is it true? What are the fruits? No, not the branches, fruits. Well, they believe everything that's in the first creed of Christianity. Next year is the 1700th anniversary. And not a single Christian will talk about it because it threatens their authority to be the one true church over the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Why? Because if Christians accept that Constantine created Christianity with the first creed of Christianity, then it means the church isn't true. Because Matthew was written before Christianity was created, which means it was a Jew who wrote it, and thus it's the Jewish religion, and thus it's the Jewish Christ, who is acting as Jesus in the particular story. He's a man like Moses. He's a man like Emmanuel. That's why in Matthew chapter 1, he quotes from Isaiah about his name being Emmanuel, but then says, I'm going to name him Jesus for the rest of the story. And so you cannot replace the Jews with Christianity. Authority fails. So again, I ask, is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as non-Trinitary instead of Trinitary now all of a sudden true? The answer is still no. It's that simple, that easy. The church is a fraud. All of the prophets are false. Using the test of Matthew chapter 7. I think it's verse 15 where it starts. It starts off in that chapter with, judge not lest you be judged, and then you're supposed to judge righteously, not judge at all. Everybody makes that mistake, and it's usually Christians. And so, it doesn't matter then what the other claims of the church are. Their administration, their succession process, their doctrine, their theology, their scripture interpretation, cultural traditions, recruitment, economy, future plans, historic origins. We already know it's the wrong religion, therefore the rest of it's all false. All the branches, all the other fruits. The one fruit was all we needed to test to find out that the seed is corrupt, bad, evil, wrong, false. That's it. That's all. We're done. You can do that with all the religions. Oh, all wrong. What about the Jews? Yeah, even they're wrong. They were led astray by Constantine. Because the Jews before Constantine were remnants of the pre-Babylonian captivity Jews who were Egyptians. They were right. How do I know that? Seriously? I just got through telling you how to find out. And so, is Joseph Smith wrong? Mormons are now panicking. Oh yeah! this is 1838. These are the claims being made against Joseph Smith during this 1 year. And yet, Joseph Smith got out of Liberty Jail and didn't practice a single one of these. But Brigham did. He practiced all of them. And sure enough, it was him and those who went with him to this valley who made these claims from 1838. Nobody else, just those who went with Brigham. See in the picture here? This is not the same religion. This Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is not Joseph's church. How do we know? Is there any kind of evidence from like the Book of Mormon, the keystone of Mormonism, that would indicate to us that it's Jewish and not Christian? Would Joseph Smith have anything, like visionary accounts or a history in which he denounces Christianity and reveals Judaism? Yeah. So Mormons are pure evil by continuing the lies, by continuing the fraud, by continuing the deception, by denialism, by threats to accept them and accept their revisionist history. Evil Mormons, you worship Lucifer. That which you follow reveals who it is you follow. Lucifer has a plan of happiness, and it's to take away agency and to lie and deceive. And so you worship Lucifer. It's real simple. I'm not getting deep, not getting complicated. It's just Matthew chapter 7. By their fruits ye shall know them. If you're following Lucifer's plan of happiness, you worship Lucifer. It's real simple. If you claim that you're worshiping Christian Jesus, you're worshiping a false Christ. Real simple. And so, Deuteronomy 18 sent me a comment earlier. In which he obviously is obsessed with Deuteronomy 18. And he says on my video about date of Doctrine and Covenants, section 10, finally changed. The church doesn't change anything. It's just revealed in the Joseph Smith papers. He said, Mormonism seduces the heart to forget about God's commanded testing method of anyone who claims to be a prophet. Yeah, Matthew chapter 7 got it from Deuteronomy 18. Real simple and easy. And then he went and linked me to a YouTube channel about how Joseph Smith is put to the test. And no, he passes. You're not understanding. Let's go to it. Because the test is actually for the false prophet. Doctrine and Covenants, section 85, verses 7 and 8, comes from Deuteronomy 18. If he had studied Mormonism, he would have caught this. If he had studied Mormonism, because he's into Deuteronomy 18, he would see the plagiarism of it in the New Testament, in the Book of Mormon, in the Doctrine and Covenants, in the Pearl of Great Price. And yet, he's obsessed with it and doesn't have a clue what it means. And so it's unclear as to whether or not he believes in Jesus, because I'm pretty sure Jews are not obsessed by going around telling Mormons that they're wrong about Deuteronomy 18. Because again, if they knew Deuteronomy 18, they would not attack Joseph Smith or the Book of Mormon. Only Christians do. And so what he's pulling, he's imposing Christianity on the Jewish Bible. He's wrong. Deuteronomy is talking about Jewish prophets. Now, only Jewish prophets are true because only Jewish prophets prophesy, reveal, see, and translate Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian. Hey, Joseph Smith has those, didn't he? No duh. Starts in verse 20. But the prophet, which shall presume to speak a word in my name, whose name? Remember, this is Jewish. This is the Jewish law. He just got through telling you who the name is. Though he says man like Moses. Isaiah is the one who gives us a name. Emmanuel. El is God, so what's Amen mean? Hey, there's an Egyptian deity. He's the sun god at noonday. Oh, the highest? Most high? Oh, the sun at noonday. To Joseph Smith in both the first and the second visions. And maybe even John the Baptist, if we were to check. Same pattern? Lehi at the beginning of the Book of Mormon. Sun god at noonday comes from outer space, gives him a book. Hey, that's the exact same pattern that happened in the second vision of Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith is all about Deuteronomy 18, guys. And you deny, and you lie, and you deceive, and you threaten others to deny and lie and deceive. Which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods. Prophet, Christ, God, synonymous in the Jews. Learning of the Jews. And so, if he prophesies, claims to be in the name of Emmanuel, it's Yahweh here, and it doesn't happen. Do you understand what prophecy means? It's not having the title of prophet. It's that you produce the fruit of prophecy, predicting the future. So we go over what the church believes in regards to predicting the future. You sure you want to do that, Mormons? You're not going to like it. You're going to be upset. The church has deceived you. Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and other adherents in Latter-day Saint movement believe that there will be a second coming of Jesus Christ. Hey, that involves both prophecy and revelation, which is the day and hour, the time. The book of Revelation, Apocalypse of John? Yeah, it's a book of dates. For the coming of who? It was written before Christianity was created. By who? It's in the Book of Mormon. Tells you to reference it for the latter days. For the coming of who? Which Christ? To the earth sometime in the future. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and its leaders do not make predictions and do not give the actual date of the second coming. Got over 3.8 videos now. In Deuteronomy chapter 5, we have the law of the Jews, the 10 Commandments. We know that it's post-Babylonian captivity because it says that we're supposed to keep the Sabbath day holy. How do we know? You can't rewrite history. The Babylonians were the ones who created a 7-day week calendar. And they were superstitious and afraid of the number 7. So much so that it was ordered that there shall be no work on the 7th day. The 7th and Sabbath are closely related in spelling. And thus created the Sabbath day. And so yeah, Genesis chapter 2. What's it doing in there? Genesis is not the original document of Adam? Nope. Post-Babylonian captivity. The Jews got assimilated. Just like they got assimilated into Constantine's Christianity. With that whole Elohim scandal. You should have trusted Joseph Smith, Mormons. And so, the first two involves, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Who brought him out of Egypt? Moses. The man like Moses. See what they're doing here? Moses is the Christ figure, but he's the future Christ. Thus the Jesus character says he has not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. The Messiah of the Jews, who is going to come just once in the latter days, will follow the law regarding a true or a false prophet. Matthew chapter 7. He will produce the fruits that you may know him, that you may judge as to whether he's true or false. We've already gone over it. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is prophets, seers, revelators, and translators are false. End of debate. Christianity, false. Islam, false. All the branch-offs, false. And so, if Deuteronomy 18 was actually serious about this, he would have paid attention to my channel. Over 3.8K videos on this channel. It's getting close to the other channel that I've abandoned, but have the link to it. That's 3.9. It's a lot of file space. Do you think I might have some prophecies for you? At least one, maybe. See, I've been already telling you, the latter days came and went. All these years I've been telling you we're in the latter days. I was there before it started. Go to my video page. Click on popular. It's still my #1 video to this day. My original famous prophecy and revelation. And it came to pass. It was fulfilled. So according to the test, what does that make me? Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints isn't true. Got to get it through to your heads. Can't go to them to appeal that I'm wrong. Deuteronomy 18 knows better than to do that. And so thus Joseph Smith. Remove Christianity from him. There he is. It has been fulfilled. There's a lot more prophecies that Expo Nevermose didn't realize he had made. The ones that they think he made but got wrong, did you bother to check who said them? Because it came from Brigham Young's Danites. They were making false accusations. The one from the Doctrine and Covenants about, if you become 85 years old, you'll see Jesus at his second coming. No, not him. Forged document put in by Brigham Young. Real simple. We know the church is false. So everything they do, everything they say, it's a sin. Theme song in the description below. One of my favorite songs in high school. Yep. See, I was catching on of the lies that were going on, even as a little kid in primary. I was not easily deceived. So, in the church news today, the presiding bishop is claiming that Utah has thrived because of the pioneers. He's the presiding bishop. He's talking about tithing. Tithing was the criminal operation that shut down the church in 1887. They don't want you to know about that. They claim that the United States was taking away religious freedom to practice child bride polygamy. They didn't want to talk about Section 119 being a forged document. The extortion threat, the criminal racket, the priestcraft. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. You missed the latter days, guys. You missed the Exodus year. Dear God, you missed the Exodus year. Because Deuteronomy 18, a man like Moses, he will do what Moses did in the story of Moses, the Exodus. And Joseph Smith adds some stuff. Prophecy. Selections from the book of Moses is prophecy. It's not literal history, that's Christian invasion. You're not getting it yet? You still around? And so yeah, this is a massive thing that you have humiliated yourselves with, Mormons. You have been deceived by false prophets, and you therefore missed the latter days. You missed the Exodus. You missed your Christ. and you're still waiting for Jesus. You're still thanking thee, O God, for a prophet, who are false because you didn't run the test. And so Nelson, or Oakes, tells you your underwear is the symbol of your bondage to Jesus. Nelson was saying, yoke yourself to Jesus. Keep the covenant path. They're all talking about the same stuff. Lucifer's plan of happiness. And here the presiding bishop is telling you that tithing from section 119, which is the criminal extortion racket, the church is a mafia crime mob boss thing. A gang who are purposely telling you not to study, but to give loyalty to the church at all costs, even to sacrifice your life to make sure the church is protected from criminal prosecution. And if you don't know about that, when was the last time you went to the temple? Are you really that wicked? It's a lot of sacrifice. Right there, for every Mormon to learn. You're supposed to keep the covenant path. That's number 2. You just don't understand that when Constantine created Christianity, it was now called, by scientists, the Dark Ages. Because inspiration, revelation, prophecy, gone. People were afraid to take off their clothes because nudity is evil. And so they didn't wash them. And the clothes were sticking to their bodies. And because they wouldn't clean, the Black Plague and other diseases and illnesses and sicknesses spread across the land over the centuries. And the Jews who did bathe and clean were therefore accused of being witches because they didn't get sick. And then the Spanish Inquisition. Oh, did you catch your husband having sex with another woman? Yeah, well, both of you are now witches, and you need to confess and be murdered after you confess that Jesus is the Christ. And yeah, the Spaniards also went down to the Aztecs, and they're heathens because they don't believe in Jesus, so we've got to murder them, enslave them, and destroy their historical records. And take over their land. And then should we talk about Muhammad? He claims to be the prophet. Is he the man like Moses? Nope, he fails. False Christ. False prophet. Real simple, real easy, and you all missed it. And so, Book of Mormon tells you what's going to happen now that you missed it, that you refuse to believe. It happened to the Jaredites. It happened to the Nephites. And so I shouldn't have to tell you. You should already know utter destruction. 3rd Nephi, chapter 7, this presidential election.